So here is my line sketch of my bigger drawing of the Badger Highway, and essentially we're just going to colour this up now. So I'm going to start with my burnt sienna. Just going to put a soft wash through here. This is the soily bit where the badger has worn away, or the wild animals have worn away the pathway. And then just any dry grasses that you want to keep light, keep those in. So anywhere you fancy that, you don't have to worry too much about where it is, because we can cover it up if we've put too much. We can put in the sky. So this is just cerulean. So fairly big brush. Just sweeping the colour in, very, very wet. Don't fuss about with it too much. It's a transparent colour, and essentially we can go over that and change it. We need a little bit of green in here, going up through to yellow. Behind the hedge, that's a little bit that's a surprise. A lovely view behind. Put a bit of bright yellow in. So then we're going to our mid-tones, which is our sap green. I'm going to put in a lot of sap green. Remember, leave little spaces of light. That's where our lovely dried twiggy bits are. Everything painted this colour can be changed, so it can be made bluer and darker. So the ivy can be changed, but we're just trying to paint round the little bits that we want to keep brown, as if it was dried grass, or little bits of white. Don't forget your violet flowers. Easy to forget those later. So put them in. You can always cover them up if we think we've got too many. Lots of water. Maybe a tiny bit ultramarine in there as well. They're a bit large, but we'll get rid of those. A bit of a cauliflower going on over there. So we're going to build up layers now. So we want the dark here. I'll change my brush size as I've got more detail. It's quite wet, it'll bleed like mad. Control it. We want it to run a bit, we want it to run down the page, give it drama. Remember the power of the energy lines going up into the sky, so let's emphasize that. Remember the leaves moving, swaying along. Again, put your brush strokes in that reflect that research that we did earlier. Fill in the gaps, cause lots of layers. I think lots of people who think when you sketch you don't really need to paint very much, but actually I paint quite a lot of layers. And our darkest green at the bottom, paint upwards as if breaking into the negative space. Gives weight at the bottom of the picture. For any dark areas that we feel benefit from lots of tone. Causes nice effects as if there's lots of undulating surfaces. Makes it look very 3D. Green down here. Don't really want that to well into a big dark mess. over here too. So remember again, the flow, the lines beautifully stretching into the sky. More layers, don't forget. Lots of darks, giving us a little bit of tone and depth. Definitely at the bottom of the picture. And let's add a little bit of phthalo blue, covering all our ivy, giving it lots of cool intensity. Keeping the flow, keeping the lines sweeping down. Another layer of burnt sienna on our path, maybe a tiny bit of yellow, a tiny bit of red, just a little bit more life. I've got 2 layers there now. Of our bark, not always brown, lots of green. We're going to use our rigger, our energy flowing up into the sky, stroking upwards like the energy sketch. Lots of twiggy bits. And we're going to bring some sponging out in a moment, help that fill in that area. Just make a bit more dark green, so phthalo blue, alizarin crimson and sap green make us a wonderful dark green. Go add more green, give it real power. Lots of energy, tippling down the hedge. Add water to make it run a little bit. And each layer that you put in adds more depth, more detail. Get our sponge into the dark. Just the new growth. We've got our dark, and then we're just going to put in some lighter ones. Get within the painting as well, so you get lots of texture. And further down, not only in the trees. And then we're going to put some magical purple and some violet down through the path. Just brighten up the view behind, which was part of the whole effect. With water and a little bit of blue-green, quite vivid. And that's it. So, very fluid, very fast, very wet paint.